For this lesson, I'm going to create a fence line. Similar to the railing I did on my deck, I'm going to be using offset and trim. I'm going to scroll up on the back side of my deck by my building line. I'm going to select offset, and I'm going to select 5 and then the foot symbol to represent 5 feet and select enter. I'm going to select the back of my deck at my building line and then drag up, single left click to drop. Select escape to get out of the offset command. I'm going to scroll out and I'm going to, with no command in the command line, single left click on the line to show the grips. Single left click, drag to the right past your property line. Similar manner on the left side, past your property line. Select escape to remove the view of the grip. I'm going to offset my property line to represent my fence line. I'm going to do this by selecting offset and selecting the number 8 to represent inches and select enter. I'm going to select my property line and drag towards my property on the inside. Single left click to drop. I now have the beginning of the fence line 8 inches off my property line. I'm going to pan down, single left click towards the inside. Pan, single left click towards the inside. I now have the beginning of my fence line. Similar to my deck railing, I'm going to give it some thickness and use my offset command again. I'm going to go back to offset, and this time I'm going to select 2 to represent inches and select enter. I'm going to select my first offset line and I'm going to drag towards my deck to offset 2 inches. The first line that I offset from my property line, I'm going to single left click and drag towards my deck. Single left click on the bottom towards my property. Single left click towards my property. I'm now going to pan around and trim out the unnecessary components of my deck, or my unnecessary components of my fence line. Single left click on my trim and fence through the back side where the line went through my building. I'm going to clean up by fencing through my other unnecessary lines. You can see I now have a fence going this way off of my building and going down across my property line. I'm going to fence through, make a nice sharp corner transition to my fence, and I'm still in the trim command. Single left click, fence through, single left click, and back to the top. Fence through, and give myself a nice sharp transition all the way back to my home. I'm going to double click to do a zoom extents. I'm going to change my pavement layer to my building line layer. In the same manner that I created the fence post or the deck posts for my deck, I'm going to come down here into the corner and I'm going to create one. Single left click on the rectangle, single left click on the blank screen, hold my shift key down, select the to or at symbol. So at this point, that I started, I'm going to draw another 4, 4 post. Select Enter. Same way I did my deck posts, I'm going to do my fence posts. Single left click on line, click on a diagonal, escape. Single left click on the line, single left click to draw another line on the corner of my fence. Escape. Select Move. Highlight your fence post. Select Enter. Single left click. Single left click. I now have a fence post. I'm going to trim out the inside of my fence post as I did with my deck posts. Escape. File. Save as. Landscape. Save. Yes.